Hello, Active Sage here, back on the Sage channel, and we're back for more Singular Survival, and our battle plan for today is to go ahead and continue working on these fantastical solar panels up here. In fact, our battle plan is to really go ahead and get the majority of those done, that way we can start planning and working up farther to get more floors in. We might even think about jigging about our assemblers down here so they're actually touching each other, so we don't have to have it set to share with all to make them work together. Maybe we'll move those, maybe we'll just live with the share with all glitch that makes them all work together anyway. Also, by the way, off screen I did go ahead and rejig the mining head of our ship here, which by the way, after looking through some of the names, if you would permit me to alt-tab kindly, I can actually go to right here, tab ourselves over to the comments, and would you look at this, we had some names that came in just 5 hours ago from when I'm recording, from Anakin Sky Obliterator, yarp, and he suggested Murphy's Law. So I think we're going to call the ship Murphy because it does seem like sooner or later something is going to go wrong and it will blow up. There were a bunch of other great names here, Mining Bratwurst and all that, keeping the idea of the sausage, but I think we're going to go with Murphy because it seems pretty befitting for how frequently things go terribly wrong on my ships. So let's go ahead, information, and Murphy. I believe we spelled that correctly based off of the spelling here. Yes, indeed. Cool. So yeah, we'll name the mining ship Murphy the Miner. Do you want to put the full name in there? Yeah, let's do that. Murphy the Miner. There, I quite like that, eh? So there we go, we got this ship ready to go and ready to mine. Hopefully with the rejigging of the mining head, it will now cover the full ship. As you can see, I've basically moved this to be the exact center point, so I moved it up one, and then I moved the ones from above it basically up two. So there's a one block gap between all of these different mining heads now, so hopefully that'll still be good and it should ensure all of our stuff is covered. Alright, so what do we need to go ahead and get all of these solar panels up and running? We already have quite a few, but I believe, if memory serves, our main missing component was just simply solar cells. Am I correct? Yes, indeed, it looks that way. So let's go ahead, go over to the flying sausage, the oddity that it is, and we're going to first and foremost go ahead, open up its storage, sausage cargo, and do we have any power cells, or solar cells, pardon, in there? We don't. So let's search up the word cell on the left and see, can we find any solar cells sitting about? We seem to have created quite a few power cells, but we don't have, we got about 400 power or solar cells there. Did you see that? I double clicked them and should have, yep, transferred them into there. That's not going to be quite enough because let's hop out of this once again and check how many does it take for each one. 64, we had 400 of them. That's about, what, 8 or so? Not even 8 that we'll be able to make. So let's go to production, and let's see, what do we need to make solar cells? Well, we need nickel. Well, luckily, I believe we did actually recover a fair amount of nickel not too long ago. Uh-oh, here we go. Yep, so that's producing there. Pop out here. Well, you're all should be working together, but you're not. Let's see, control panel. Let's go ahead and select everything and do share with all. That should ensure that all things in production will be sharing the load with one another, which doesn't appear to be doing so. Once again, we're going to go ahead and click up to queue those. It did share some of them. Let's see, does this? Yeah, it looks like it now shared it with all of them. Good. And you see some of them are kicking it off. The main one here does not appear to be producing any. We do have some nickel, though. If I was to go to right here and search up nickel, yeah, we got a bit of nickel, and you can see we do have nickel dropped off here. We got our uranium being processed currently, so that's the reason why we don't have enough nickel. So we're just simply going to go ahead and shift this over to have nickel in front. And even though I tried to shift just 20,000, it did just shift the whole lot. And again, shift these over. Basically want everything working on nickel right now, because we will have uranium later. Yeah, there we go. Actually, let's go ahead and even be more such refinery on the left, nickel on the right, and that should make it easier to double check that we have enough uranium or nickel in each one of these machines to keep working for a while. So first three seem to have 50,000 in each, then these drop down, so let's add another 10,000 to this son of a gun right there. What do we got here? Let's add another 10,000 to you. Hopefully that'll actually, yep, just send the 10,000, and pull another 10,000 off for this refinery. At some point, we do also need to finish upgrading that one refinery that we have, because it is, unfortunately, still lacking all the upgrade modules on the top, which means we are losing a little bit of extra ingot that we would be getting if we had that fully upgraded. There we go. So that's everything now producing nickel. We should be able to go back to production And you can see it's cut down the stack here a little bit. Let's go ahead and queue up another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's dropping it down. It's odd that this one isn't actually building anything, but I would say that these other ones are producing things. Yeah, you can see this one's cooking out a few. Well, number 8 isn't apparently working at all. Number 3 is. Number 6 is working. Number 5 is working. Number 4 is working. Yeah, so what's number 3 is now working. What about number 8? Yeah, number 8's just being a grumpy piece of phlegm. Share with all, yep, cooperative mode on and off. Very finicky that. Okie dokie, so anyway, we got those working. Let's also go ahead now and just use the sausage cargo and go ahead and search up ourselves those solar cells. And not the ones that are actually inside of the sausage already, but let's grab up all these other ones that have been produced so quickly and go ahead and just start welding up all of that. Now, we are going to need some other stuff. Like I'm pretty sure we're going to need a bunch of computers for them and a lot of other little things. Let's actually hop out and just see what we are really going to need. So yeah, only 2 computers, steel plates. We are going to need some large steel tubes and construction components. I get the feeling we're actually going to have quite a bit of this stuff already ready to go. Look at that, we already got 90 large steel tubes here. I think it did just say 1 per each, right? Yes, indeed. So we are already be able to have 90 of those ready to go. Construction components, we already have 400 and something of those in one of these storages here. So we're going to be able to do quite a bit. Let's just start working on this, shall we? And actually, before we work on this, we're going to go ahead and back ourselves up. And we're actually going to do a little tiny detour here and rejig this section of, not this section here, this section of the ship over here. I mean, we did so much stuff trying to, how do I say this? Make this so it's the array it was, but honestly it's too big and finicky, so we're going to go ahead and shave it down a bit and rejig its shape. So this episode is going to be, if everything goes to plan, simply reworking this facing here and then getting a lot of these solar panels up and running. Hopefully all of them. Also, the time we're spending working on these also means they're able to continue producing more solar cells for us. Now, I know some people might argue that, hey, why tear all this down? Why not just, somebody actually did tell me I can just put the basic versions of these welders back in there and then turn on the welders and it'll actually weld itself up because it's got welders right next to it. But I feel like I want the front and back of this ship to be more symmetrical, meaning that the overall head layout of the tools is going to match on the front and the back, making it a little bit easier and more logical to fly about. Also, I'm not too fond on my current setup of having this down here so very low, because it means if we're trying to get low to the ground to use that, this ends up bumping stuff. So if we get both these sides matching the same, it should actually be a little bit easier to work with. We can also, of course, when we're welding this back up, just put one of these in, weld it up ourselves, and then turn it on the weld, and it should help all of its buddies around them if the one lovely comment I got is indeed correct. If not, well, we can always hover it back over near the actual station where we have the little welding array right there, and that should get everything working nice and quick like. Alrighty, guys do not need to see me grind all of this down, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. And there we go. That's the last little piece removed. We might as well actually keep that stuff in our inventory. We should probably also grab a little bit more and some steel plates, and our suit energy is low. But yeah, there you go. You can see that we've taken it all down into this one little piece right here, and now all we're going to do is just mimic the setup design we have over here, which should be pretty simple and straightforward, I believe. Let's see. Any of this that's not really clicking with me? Yes. How are these center pylons connected? Oh, there's a connector down here at the bottom too. Oh, I didn't see that originally. That must be... Okie dokie. Yarp. That connects into all 4 of them. Ah, I got you now. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just basically going to go ahead and mimic that design. We should hop in a cockpit right here because we are low on power though, and that's not exactly ideal, is it? To be low on power or hydrogen, honestly, but we still have about 2 hydrogen tanks ready to rock. Also, by the way, and I know I didn't get my energy up all the way to full, people pointed out something that I forgot to put on the ship, which was a vent. They also pointed out that if I really wanted to, I could remove this and replace it with just a bunch of small spitty outy things, the ejectors. Then again, I'm not sure they would actually clip directly into the large connector there, so it's a little unfortunate that. Yeah, so need to at some point come back here and put a vent into this ship. Okie dokie, let's go ahead and start planning this out now. Oh, boy, boy. We need, I believe it was 2 of these, right there and there, yes indeed. And then 2 right here and here, cool. And then we need 1 of these, and which way does this gun go? Oh no, we actually just need it to curve straight in with 1 of these pipes right here. Super simple. Pretty nice, actually. And then, let's go ahead and look, how far down was it? It was just 1 block down that we have all those big ones set up. Cool. And we should be able to put those in. Did they have a space right in the middle? I think they had 1 space right in the middle where they had a small connection pipe. Am I correct in this? My assumption of how I built this previously? I can't really see in there, but we're going to go with that. We're going to assume that's what's going on here. So 1 pipe down from you guys. We're going to go ahead and be putting in a bunch of little fun stuff. And how do we do this? It'd probably be easier to actually weld these up first, like that. And then go ahead and actually start putting on the other bits. That way we can actually just connect it directly into those. I think indeed that shall make it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and flip you like so. Was it like that? Yes, indeed. And then it went up here. And go ahead and grab the stuff we'll need to start placing the welders. I think these is all we really need to start. Remember, the theory here is that if we get 1 of these up and running, the other ones, well, it should start welding up the ones around it. That's the theory according to one of the comments I got. And I apparently can't find the bloody welders on my hot... Oh, there it is, right where I originally looked. And somehow dismissed it because it's the large one icon. I'm assuming it's the large one icon. Anyway, place this down. We'll place a few more around it, and we'll see if our theory holds up. So there we go, and then weld you up. Construction components, motors, large steel tubes. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. We'll drop off all this. Large steel tubes, construction components, I can't remember how many. Maybe some computers. I read it all out and promptly forgot it all. So there we go, and motors. The only other thing we're actually missing at this point. 2 little motors to go for a walk. And there we go. So now that you are pretty much completed, we unfortunately don't have a control panel on the side of you to actually access, which means we have to go all the way back here, or at least to a control panel to run it. We can find a welder, and we can turn you on. Oh, yep, and it looks like the theory is indeed correct. It would appear to indeed be welding everything up. And let's go ahead and find... Oh, do we just want to transfer the cockpit's full up? We can't put more stuff in there. Where's the sausage main cargo? There we go. Let's drop all the stuff out of our inventory. Let's even go to here and go to the cockpit, which we were actually already at, and just transfer everything out of this as well. Cool. Let's go back to our welders. I'll select all of these. We'll tell them off and on, so they're all on. And now, all we're really going to do is grab about 100 of these, fly over there, and just place them all in. And they should instantaneously begin welding each other up, in theory. Yep, that worked. Wow, that can... So, apparently, wow, wizards. Welders do have a larger range than I remember, or at least they have the large range that I do remember, but it's only when they're actually working now, from the looks of it. That hurt. Let's go ahead and, I guess, just fly up here. We need to drop off all those tools we respawn with. It's tempting to turn that off, but I know in the long run, it's sort of, it can come in handy to have those respawn tools turned on. Particularly because you can find yourself every now and again respawning without everything, or even respawning decided, and you know, I want to chop those down. So yeah, it would appear that those welders did have a much larger range than one remembered. Anyway, let's go ahead and place the rest of these right here. A little terrifying to be so close to them. Let's place all these in. Let's see, let's just do a test, huh? Okay, yeah, it does hurt you. Okay, maybe that's what just happened. Maybe I flew into that. I wanted to do a test to see if they actually did hurt you when they were just on, but not actually welding. They do. They most definitely do. What a waste of a human life, eh? Also, I can't... There was... I didn't make that crater, right? I just fell into it. It'd be a bit silly if I made that crater with my body. I don't think I weigh that much. Anyway, let's go ahead and place the rest of those in there. There we go, got them coming in. And also it spares you from having to see me just drop everything off again. This should start sparking, yes indeed. And there, cool. So I do think maybe we just flew back into those like an imbecile. Also, we're going to go ahead and turn on, if we hop into here, we're going to have to select all of our welders again. Just select all those there, turn them off and on. and that'll upgrade and turn on the ones that were not on a second ago. Cool. And we'll do that again in a second here, just to make sure they all are on, because there's going to be a few, yeah, like these two, or at least that one right down in the corner. Oh, wow. Oh, because I selected because I selected the ones that weren't done and turned them on. When they finished, they were instantly on as well. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and make a group here for these guys. So, yep, welders, and we can call these the sausage welders. Cool. And then we can always just turn that group on and off whenever we need these now. We can even hop at the cockpit here. Do we have a vent on this ship? We do. Cool. And sausage welders. Let's add you to the hotbar right down there, eh? I'll do good old-fashioned welders and then the group of them. Toggle block on and off. Cool. Awesome. So now we can weld stuff up lickety-split with this ship. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and actually do some of that now, since we did transfer a bunch of power cells earlier. I know the ship is still missing a connector. We'll add that back in a minute. I just want to see if we can make some progress with actually welding up some of these solar panels. And also, it's pretty awesome now that we have the, well, more symmetrical front and back of the ship. It does seem like maybe I should have moved the welding array back one towards the center of the ship, since it seems like it's sticking out a fair bit farther than the other side, but I don't think it's too big of a sin to have that sticking out a little bit farther. Okie dokie. And we're actually making some pretty quick progress. See, can we line this up so it just goes in between the whole array, like that, pretty much? It's a little hard to tell, but yeah, there we go. That's pretty silly. Let's even go in the spectator mode just to show what I've just done right there. It's like it's chewing on it almost. So let's do ourselves an F9 and fly the ship over here gently now. And yeah, wow, we're making some progress here. We have 3 new solar panels up and running. Let's see, can we get a 4th solar panel up and running as well? Oh wow, we're making good progress here, guys. Oh, look at that. Ages of these solar panels sitting here making 0 progress, and now we just have 4 up and running in like the matter of seconds, it feels like. I do need to be cautious now, so let's do it back to F6 and help ourselves out. We don't want to end up ramming any of these solar things to our right here. That would be a slightly, well, bad, terrible. Cool. Wow, a lot of progress being made in a few seconds here. You know, really, this ship itself, I should think about upgrading it in a future episode to actually have solar panels on top of it as well. I think that would be pretty damn successful. Okie dokie, fly that in there. Alrighty, well, you get the gist of it. I'm going to go around and upgrade all of these until our supplies run out, really. But this means we are going to have more than enough energy to probably get to... Ah! That was scary. Quicker than I expected. More than enough energy to power up even more equipment and more batteries on board these ships. Unfortunately, it looks like we just ran out of a component. So let's shut this down, hop out, and see what that component is. Because so much for our fast forwarding if we run out of solar cells. Dagnabbit. There's not really much point in me flying around and welding up everything else if I'm just going to have to go ahead and do it again. So we might as well, at this point, go ahead and add the connection to the bottom. And now, where the hell do we want to add? In fact, I want to get rid of these 2 little random blocks that seem to be sticking down right here. For some reason, they just annoyed me. Also, max bots, a wonderful little message. Where do we want to put the connector? I guess we're going to end up putting it over here again. Oh, they're designed the same way, Sage. There's no point in looking at the other side expecting something different. I think what we're going to do is just simply have it stuck to the bottom right here. Back 1 right there, so it's closer to the middle, so it's a little bit closer to just being far down as these. In fact, it's the same bounding box if we look at that real quick. Did I put that right? That looks like it's offset, but it's just that the pipe here is a little bit smaller. But yeah, it's the same bounding box as these. You can see they come down 1 block from where I'm aiming, sort of, and this comes down to the same exact point. So hopefully that'll prevent us from having any troubles. We need motors, construction components, all that fun stuff. So let's grab, what, 100 construction components really quickly. Got that finished off. Now, of course, this is a bit annoying because this is offset. It's not directly dead in the center, and it's sort of in the same sort of issue we had earlier. But the point is that I keep bumping my microphone with my headset. But the point is that it's at least moved up a little bit further than it was, because remember before we had like 2 more of these big blocks heading down, so we should have more room there. So let's go ahead, take this ship. Why are you still turned on? What the hell? Okay, also check our groups, because it will appear we're having a little bit of trouble with the welders. So select you. Everyone's in there. On, off. Yeah, that fixed it. What the hell? Yeah, I don't understand why that was one was still on. Anyway, we got that set up. Now we can go ahead and bring the ship back over to where it was, dock it, and get some more of those power cells. Because remember, as we've been doing all this, all those power cells should have been cooking up nice and quick-like. And even if they weren't quick-like, we've been out at this for a little bit now. So, bring ourselves down, and line ourselves up the best we can. Is that... Have we... There we go, I see the bit of magnetic pole. Connect there, good. Select sausage on the right. Now, there we go, not SAS, but sausage, cool. And then solar cells, cool. And how many of these do we have? We've got 5 there, 5 there. We're gonna need quite a few of these. If these have all just pumped out 5 at a time, we are going to be in a... Oh my goodness, large cargo container. You've got 401 of these. That is very impressive. Also, I can't... Okay, I double-clicked it earlier and it didn't transfer them directly. So there we go. We got quite a few of those now. Let's also go back to production. You're still being finicky about producing any, aren't you? You stinker. Well, let's queue up a couple hundred of them and see if they... Yep, you see the number drop down there? That means it is indeed sending them off to the other ones to produce. Very odd, that. Okay, well, let's disconnect ourselves and continue welding up now that we've moved like 500 of these or so into the sausage. And there we go. That got just about diddly squat done, didn't it? It's amazing just how quickly those sons of guns go. I mean, let's double check. Did we really? Yeah, it's power cells. It's power cells, or solar cells, pardon, that we ran out of. And damn, those things take for... Well, they go quick. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I'm a bit befuddled, actually, at just how quickly we burnt through all those. I forgot how many it takes. Let's go ahead and... How much do these actually weigh if we were to go ahead and pick up 8 of them? We can't even pick up all 8. Wow. Yeah, our inventory was almost full though, so it's not exactly the biggest excuse on earth. Let's drop off all of this stuff and see how many we can pick up. Because basically I'm going to go ahead and really quickly see if it might be quicker just to run around on foot and drop off the cells as they're done. Yeah, we can carry quite a few here. Can we carry enough to finish one of these at a time? We can't, so it's still not worth it. Damn. Yeah, Jesus Christ, 64 per each, which means if we queued up 400, it wasn't even enough for 4. Damn. I thought they, yeah, I thought they took a little bit less than that. Let's queue up some more. We're going to need a bunch of these. Let's also go ahead and check to see. According to this, we're out of nickel, but we know that's not true. So you've got more than enough nickel. You're not producing these. You're number 8 and you're finicky broken. What the hell? And then number 6, you're working, and then number 5, you're working. Cool. Let's go ahead. Find number 8 and just in our control panel. Assembler 8. Yeah, you do exist. Use conveyor system, cooperative mode is on. Toggle block off and on. There we go. You should be functioning. You should be functioning. Actually, we just got rid of it, didn't we? Because we went ahead and hit it on accident. Oh, it's not underscore 8, it's just space 8. Pardon me. Space 8. There you are. Stop being hidden. I didn't intend for you to hide. No, I don't intend for you to hide either. Airvent 3. Jesus. Finicky. Very finicky, that assembler. Anyway, we got a bunch producing. This is going to take an age. You guys do not need to see me flying back and forth, so let's just cut ahead till when I'm done here. Waiting for all these to produce and slowly welding all this up. Okay, I know I said I was going to jump ahead till everything was done, but I seem to have figured out part of the reason why some of the assemblers weren't working. It would appear that they were full up, as in assembler 8, that wasn't working, I believe it was. It was full up on silicon. There was no room for anything else to be pulled in there. So I've sort of shifted around some of the stacks a little bit and made more room for it all. And I think at this point, if we were to go to production tab, everything, even assembler 7, 10, 9, 4, yep, 4 is working, 3, 8 was the silly one, right? And it's working. So yeah, it looks like they were just full up inventory-wise, so it couldn't actually transfer the nickel into them, or vice versa. I think in one case where it was full up on nickel. Yeah, so there you go. Everything has been sorted and shifted a little bit. It's silly the machines don't think like, oh god, I need to maybe balance this. Yeah, I guess if, you know, you queue up 1,000 of these, and it pulls nickel first, and then it pulls silicon, it ends up just pulling all the nickel into its storage and filling itself up and then not being able to pull the silicon. And if you have more silicon, then everything else ends up filling up the other ones. Either way, though, we got them all working, and they're on their way to creating the 700 or so silicon, well, solar cells that we need. Silicon cells is what I was about to say. And because it's taking an absolute age to make all of the solar cells, I've gone ahead and actually just finished welding up all of these sun's guns right here. You know what I think I might do to even speed up our construction of those silly solar cells is start putting the modules on the sides of these to increase their speed. I think it's the effectiveness module, wasn't it, that does that? We can go ahead and find that. What bar shall we put it on? Oh, we already have it on bar number 5. Cool. And there we go. Effectiveness module. Let's go ahead and see. Fly up. My god, my hands are on all the wrong buttons. Is this the same one we got here? Yes, so it's not that one that we want. We want the... not power efficiency, productivity module. Cool. So let's put one of these on there and see if that increases anything by a notable amount. Alrighty, so here it is cooking away, and it takes a few seconds. So 1, 2, about 10 seconds to actually make one of those. So let's finish this thing up. And now we'll go ahead and once again count it. We'll let this one finish. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it cut about 4 seconds off of it and maybe change. So that sped it up quite a bit actually. That's nice. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try to upgrade a few more of these then, if that's the case. There we go. So there, this should be going super quick now. I wish I had known which number this was below this one. Let's just assume it's... well, let's just look at all of our assemblers. Because one of these should probably have... yeah, I bet you it's assembler 7. Yeah, I bet you it's assembler 7 since it's got so many more in it than the other ones. About 10 more. Because it would be producing them a little bit quicker. 5... no, it's not that one. Should have been cooking them out way quicker than that. Let's see, is there another one that's just taken off with them? I'm not saying... oh, there we go. That's probably it. 1, 2... yeah. So with a fully upgraded assembler, we've just taken it down from taking 10 seconds to make one solar cell to one... it's roughly 2 seconds, if that. Wow, that is a heck of an increase. Dang. Well, that just shows how important it is actually to use those upgrade modules. They're not just a pointless upgrade to the game. They are very, very powerful. Productivity module, you are something to behold. I don't have enough large steel tubes to finish them all up, but I'm going to go ahead and just place them all in, basically. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to actually get supplies to work on them manually, but they'll be here and ready to rock and roll come the time when I'm actually ready to come back and weld them up. Alrighty guys, well the machines seem to have gone silent, so that means that the long wait is pretty much done. And we should have solar cells out the wazoo. So let's move the 114 that seem to be sitting there. We're moving them all into the sausage. There we go. So look at that, 58 there. Should be roughly the same on most of these. Cool. Wowzers. So we'll have enough to get it all done finally. I know originally I had planned to just cut through all this, but it turned out it took an awful long time, and well, just sitting here idle didn't seem like quite the enjoyable thing. So there we go. 861, about 100 more than we should actually need, which is not really bad. So let's go ahead, grab our flying sausage here, disconnect it, and start welding it all up, shall we? You know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't at least break one of the damn welders, would it? I was like, okay, I can just reach around here to the side and I'll grab it and finish it up, and I managed to break one of the damn welders off, didn't I? Brilliant. Well, luckily they should fix each other up once I just go ahead and... do we have the components we need to actually start this? Do we have the components? It was supposed to be just a victory moment, but nope. Nope, of course, it's come back down to me flailing about and trying to replace... a welder right there. Cool. Also, this one didn't finish because somehow we ran out of solar cells. I had counted the number we were missing. We were missing 12 of them. And I did the times 64 to try to find out the correct amount. Solar cells, Sage. But apparently it wasn't enough. So we're one short, and we're not ending this episode until we finish the damn thing. So how many more do we need to finish this? It is... oh, 34, 35. We're going to make 35 of these damn things right quick here. And we're not going to stop until those are done. So click, click, click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 35, right? Cool. Let's go to inventory. Now let's just grab these solar cells and get them into... oh, it's not plural, it's singular. Solar cells and get them into our inventory. And you see that assembler 5 must be one of the ones we had for speed because, man, it's cooking those up quick. Really? Really? There's no more other producing? There we go. Researched it, and look at that. Now it's all the assemblers are cooking them out. Nice and quick like. Unfortunately, I don't have some sorter system or anything to pull everything. Some people have been suggesting I get something like Tim's, so I can automatically have everything sorted in containers. I might go ahead and do that. I can't hold anymore. I might go ahead and do that, but for the time being, I think I'm just going to stick with what I got until maybe the ship gets larger, and then we'll be able to go ahead and set up like big cargo containers for specific things. The only time Tim's actually ends up with trouble, and if you don't know, Tim's is a sorting script that basically you can name your cargo containers specific things and it'll transfer whatever you want into that specific cargo container, so you can sort everything automatically. There we go. All of our solar cells are now done. Solar panels. Success! We were successful today. Boy, it took a little bit longer than expected. But one of the things about Tim's that sort of bugs me is that, of course, you have to sometimes shut the system off if you want to transfer stuff to other ships, or if there's another way, it's beyond me because it's programmer stuff and I often get a little bit confused about all that. Also, welders, we need to go ahead and select our group there and select, there should be a new welder, there it is, number 31, and add it to the group. There we go. So now all of our welders should work again. Correct? Correct. Groovy. Anyway, guys and gals, that is that for this episode. Yarp, we got a lot of stuff done today. Kind of doesn't feel like it because we've been running in circles, but I think retrofitting this ship to have a more boxy, smaller welding array that is a little bit easier to handle and more precise was well worth it. And also, obviously, I've kind of decided we're not going to scrap the flying sausage, as I was starting to think we might. We're going to keep it. We can always build more welding ships if need be. And I thought that was luck. I could have sworn I felt like a little sort of gravitational pull. I guess it was just me hitting the sidewall here like a fool. Like an absolute fool. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you once again a bunch for watching, and I shall see you next time. Ta-ta.